corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. It's going to a model home. All right, take a little breather here. Gotta make a phone call. Let's see if I can get this open. Just use magic tricks. Open sesame. All right. Good thing I programmed that thing on voice recognition. Have a door. Each door has a name. All right. I guess they're in this model home right here. Actually, my second wife and I, we stayed at a kind of like a model home. It was a model home apartment unit. When ours got flooded out, we stayed in this they had a model unit. Oh, hi. Do you mind shutting the door? Yeah, sure. Okay. No big deal. Messing with a deadly thing right there. Coronavirus, my goodness gracious. People act like, I'll just open the door and breathe on you. No, there's a deadly virus out there right now. That's why I'm wearing a mask. Keep that door shut, please, until we get rid of all this nightmare. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Put on some David Bowie mix, and we're headed to Saginaw Main Street, and then I'll drop this fast food at your door. Right there's pretty much an Air Force base, or it used to be. It used to be an Air Force base. They changed it to the Navy base. Back in about maybe like 10 years ago, it was an Air Force base. Now it's a Navy Joint Reserve base. Navy Station is what they call it, a Navy Air Station. Don't know why. It was called Carswell Air Force Base. Now it's just a Joint Reserve base. Navy came in, I guess. They have a pretty serious Air Force, the Navy does. They're mostly out in the ocean and stuff. They're the ones that are probably the best pilots, or they say they are, but Air Force isn't to mess around either. They're both kind of competitive on who's the better pilot. Some say the Navy is better, aviation, and then some people just say, the Air Force might be, but they both work together. But this is actually part of the Navy, pretty much. I guess they train here and things like that. It used to be called Carswell Air Force Base. What we'll be looking for is called a Lotus Fanny. So that's the name of the road. I'm very familiar with these roads because, I tried to sell credit card rates to all these people a long time ago. Probably about almost 10 years ago. I didn't make a single sale, but they hired me to do it. Look at that though, there's Fort Worth. So we're gonna find a Lotus. It's American Recycling right there. You can recycle your beer cans, or I don't know what they recycle really, just any type of metal really, probably. It's a recycling lot right there. Probably just turn in metal, get money out. You gotta talk to the guy though. Of course, probably need a truck. Just drop off metal right there. They give you a little bit of money. I guess they sell the metal to other companies. There's something with a scorpion on it. Called the Durango Club. And there's next main recycling. More recycling places right here. Just drop off your metal product right there. Give you cash for it. Probably get a I don't know, I guess everything, any type of recycling thing. It could be even like cans and any kind of, there's machine shops all along here, right here. On 34th. A Lotus Fanny is what we're looking for. Must have went crazy. It's actually not a street at all. It's a restaurant called a Lotus Fanny. Got it all mixed up. For some reason I thought it was a road. It's actually a restaurant. I think Johnny Depp did that. Pretty sure he did. He's here for something. I can't remember what. He does that. He signs his name in concrete. Forgot why he was here though. They were shooting something in Fort Worth a while back. road of Schwartz, 3804, and I'm listening to David Bowie's Major Tom, which is probably one of the greatest songs ever written. And we'll be dropping this off at your doorstep. Look at the lawman beating up the wrong guy. I have no control of this. That's the railroad system. And that was supposed to be the word railroad. Or railway. Railway. The railway. Like the Trinity. But I have no control of this because it's moving very, very slowly. So I'm going to have to probably turn around. But we will turn around soon enough. Let's see how long it is. Choo-choo. All right. Yeah, sometimes I like driving around. Oh, they got palm trees right over here. Look at this. See the palm trees. It's a place called, it's kind of restaurant. Pretty cool. Oh, it's called Heavens. It's called Heaven's Gate. That restaurant's called Heaven's Gate. Not too bad, not too bad. It's pretty hot though. It's like 98 Fahrenheit. Not too bad though. There's that one place. There it is, the skyline of Fort Worth, where they keep the good people in and the bad people out. They're a fort of Worth. And don't forget to vote for Gillespie. Coming up here pretty soon. Especially the filmmaker crowd. Quicker than usual. I got the actual drinks and everything like that, so I would say they're probably about 10 minutes quicker on this one right over here, this area. Maybe one day, it could happen. It's a possibility. It's up to Robert Redford. Parents Taco Shop, and they've got nothing but nachos. Looking at this for a while, you know, through the camera and everything, I think this is probably one of my favorite shots so far right here. Check out that restaurant on the border. Their chips are about the size of a plate. That's a lot. So it's mostly like Cat and John Deere and Genie. John Deere has a big input in this type of technology. So they can lift people up to like street lamps or sides of buildings for painting. It's called a Genie. Also, look at this right here. You got these, I don't even know what that is. It's like a forklift. There's guys that are actually certified to drive those things. They're like in a union and stuff. And some states, I don't know about Texas. Those are great. Make like a great crane. You know, if you want to do like a crane shot. You can probably rent them through the day. They're probably not terribly expensive. But it's like Genie does it. It's great. It's a great crane. So all you Weezer fans, the airwalk is when you grab the nose of the skateboard, of the deck. Then you do this in the air, and then you grab the nose. So it's almost kind of like a boneless, but you're actually in the air, but your feet are like this. And you're grabbing the nose and then come back on the board. A nollie air flip is when you ollie by pushing on the nose of the board going into what's called a nollie. Okay. Then the board spins around just like a kick flip, but you're doing it by a nollie kick flip. So I think he said a nollie air flip, which I don't really know if that's a skateboard vocabulary, but the airwalk is, and it's an older 1980s kind of when Gator and Tony Hawk used to do it a lot on the ramp, a lot when he would ollie upwards and he'd do like an airwalk. Your feet are not touching the board, they're apart, and the board's underneath, and then you land back on it. This Popeyes is going to a little apartment in Azle. So they're all the way from Florida, and they got a myflorida.com on their license plate, and it is sunshine. We'll be traveling across a lake, And sooner or later, we'll be turning left on a road called Main Street. Main Street, not Main Streets. Main Streets. Main Street. Main Street, not Main Streets. Main Street. We'll be turning left on Main Street. Sorry about that. Little cinematic advertisement. This is actually probably a new bridge coming in right into Fort Worth at this moment, right now. I just entered Fort Worth. And there's the lake. There's some boat docks there. Also known as Lake Worth. And then that's where they keep all the good boaters in, and the boaters that aren't worth anything have to leave. So it's the place of worth. So it's where you go if you're worth anything. You go to Fort Worth or Lake Worth or something like that. Unless you're a lake rat. If you're a lake rat, well, you stay there anyway. Yeah, there's some people that are kind of crummy that are still here, but we let them stay out of the kindness of our hearts. But we headed to Azle and Springtown is where we're going. Well, actually, Azle. We're not going to Springtown. I hope we're not going to Springtown. You know what? I might try out Springtown. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe so. Okay. Well, there's bingo. Lake Worth bingo right there. So if you ever want to go play right next to Lovers, little bingo spot right here. You can see it's still kicking. Right next to Lovers. Bingos. Well, we're not at Azle yet, but I'm real happy about getting there. So we're on our way. We're going to pass the 9-mile bridge, and we're going to drop that food, that Popeyes, right at your doorstep. So you can eat it up in your tummy. Yummy, yummy. Tummy, tummy. We'll probably make about $1 million right there in this shot right here. Factory outlet for homes right there in real estate. I didn't know that was out there towards Azle. Oh my God. Back there was a deer, and his head was cut off. So it was a deer with no head laying on the side of the road. You really shouldn't do that if you're a hunter. Just let the whole carcass run on the side of the road, right down that way. The deer's head's cut off. No kidding. Right by Normandy. You know where Normandy Road is, going towards Azle. I have no idea what road this is. But this is, yeah, I'll find out. So right before you get to Welcome to Azle, probably about, I don't know, not even a half a mile, not even that, there's a dead deer on the side of the road with no head. I didn't get it, but I got the mobile home thing, and I turned around, turned it off, and boom, there was the deer, like right there. So you're not really supposed to do that as a hunter. They cut the head off so they can do a taxidermy. They just leave the body on the side of the road. It's really disrespectful. But they did it, so they completely cut the deer's head off and just left the deer's body on the side of the road. Disgusting. These are the roads of Azle, Texas. Right back there is a place called El Paso's. No, but it's Azle. It's Azle, Texas. I don't know. I don't know how long the deer meat can last for. Probably not that long. I think you want to do it. It's in that movie with Sean Penn directed it, Call of the Wild. There's a certain amount of time you have before the meat goes bad. You can cut it up and dry it out. There's different things. There's different ways to preserve the meat. See that movie Call in the Wild or Into the Wild? No, Into the Wild. It's called Into the Wild. It's a Sean Penn he directed it. Same guy did Indian Runner, things like that. He did a film called Into the Wild. And they have a scene where they talk about how long you have to preserve the meat. If you kill a moose or a deer or something like that, you got a certain amount of time before you can no longer eat the meat. You can cook it, you can even dry it out, you can preserve it, you can salt it. There's different ways, but after a certain amount of time, then the meat, of course, goes bad. It's a good movie. Into the Wild, Sean Penn, one of our greatest directors, for sure. He also did Crossing Guard, did The Pledge, which is a great film I saw the other night. The Pledge is great with Jack Nicholson. Crossing Guards with Jack Nicholson. He also did Into the Wild and Indian Runner, which is his best. His best work is Indian Runner. Check him out. Really good filmmaker. Also an actor. He was in Dead Man Walking. saw something that said Silver Creek or something like that. I don't really know what that road is. This is Kelly with 1L. Cool little houses. They got little stars on it. Little horseshoe and a star. Well, they're more like townhomes.
The customer requested you leave the order at their door. They added the following instructions. Leave at my door.
I kind of like those movies where the music doesn't really fit the scene, because it always kind of makes me think, you know. Every single movie out there has these montages to music in a certain way, but you ever get movies where you watch and like that music just doesn't fit? I like that kind of stuff. It's kind of like those people that are like bad music. You know, I saw a sticker. I was at this it was like a kind of like a I guess it was like a record store, like a vinyl store, you know, like an album where you play music, a music store where they had vinyl records for albums. And, well, you know, like a vinyl record, like they don't really sell them anymore. But there was this sticker that said they like bad music. All right. So let's see here. These are these little country roads, though. You know, you're like, whoa. And all of a sudden, you know, you start to forget about things. Country roads are cool. They take you home, you know, country roads. Take me home, country road. That kind of thing. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Got a little creek crossing right here. Oh, there's some horses. This one's called Ash Creek right here. You can kind of see it a little bit. Ash Creek. It's pretty cool.